just ready to go. I think that's probably the fair. We've had enough prep. We just want to kick off Sunday, so just looking forward to getting the season underway, I'd say.
How different does it feel as you sit here now to your first?
First what?
First season here with Chelsea.
I don't think I was having a press conference, so that in itself is different.
You on Zoom?
I definitely weren't doing it in Zoom. I doubt I was even doing anything in person. In fact, I don't think I was doing any press at all. I don't know when that introduction came in, but we definitely weren't doing any press.
And what's the one thing that's changed most about you in that time, do you think?
I've aged. I think that. I've aged. What else? Jokes have got worse. I think that's probably fair to say. Anything else? No, that's about it.
And when you sit here now on the eve of the season, can you believe how much it has changed? You joke about press conferences, but when you walk out on Sunday?
Yeah, I think maybe I don't stop to think about it because we're just having to do it all of the time. So as far as I'm concerned, we already do too much. Probably not enough for you guys. But way of managers, when you're always coaching every week, the last thing we want to do is so much press, but we know we need to. So I remember there was a day when all we wanted was press. So
careful what you wish for, yeah?
Yeah, listen, it comes with the territory. Like I've always accepted that. And I'm just ready for a barnstorming season.
How disappointed are you? And it's a hard one because it's been quite an emotional week for a lot of people, but that momentum that was being built to last week and then to have to sort of put it off.
I do think post-COVID everybody's adapted to those sort of changes. Like when games are called off, I think quite rightly, in honour of Her Majesty, then I think we've experienced through COVID what that's like, and everybody is adapted to things like that might happen. Though I definitely think the internationals have recognised the enormity of our royal family and the place it plays in our society, and I realise particularly, I can only speak as an English woman, that it's been a very sombre week, very overwhelming seeing the coverage around everything regarding the build up to the funeral, and it's been, I think, befitting on Sunday for the women's season to start, and hopefully the fans, the players get the opportunity to pay respects in the way that we know best on the football pitch.
And just finally, your message to people out there that were maybe going to watch another game that isn't being played this weekend, what would you say to them or to anybody else on the eve of the season?
That, to be honest with you, I think the women's game is taking care of itself. I think the summer is another demonstration of the quality on show, and I think that's been building in the WSL, and I've said many times before, I think it's the best league in the world. I think it's the most competitive, and I think that every team has strengthened, and that this is another year where the quality is going to get better and better across the board. So it's a great day out, cheap day out. I always say too cheap, but perhaps get down to your local clubs and see that top quality on show.
Thanks, Gail. Let's go over to Emma at the BBC, who is on virtually.
Hi Emma. So it's been 3 in a row, obviously now going for number 4. How does it feel being chased as you go for number 4, and how do you improve when you're losing away like this and keep up those standards?
Oh, I think that's always a difficult question to answer when you haven't kicked a ball yet. All I can talk about is the work we've been doing internally throughout the pre-season, and the work on ourselves, the work on our way of playing, and the clarity around everybody's roles within that, the scenarios you have to face, you know, from game to game, and it's been a really enjoyable pre-season where the team, I think, are as prepared as they can going into the opening weekend, and I think we just really need to kick off to see, you know, how much progress we've made with that work in the summer weeks.
Obviously he talks about the delays, and obviously, you know, saying it was right to delay the game because of what happened the news last week. How have the players reacted to that? And is it when something like that happens and there's such an unexpected delay like that, how do you sort of like how do the players respond? What's the response been like on the training pitch?
I think the response is the same for every human being, players or not, that our country has lost unbelievable service from a person who has given absolutely everything to her country during her reign, and for most of us, particularly that have lived within that, have experienced no other monarch. And yeah, the conversations I think take place in dressing room are the same conversations that take place in your workplace, which is nothing but deep respect and gratitude for someone who, as I mentioned before, has done so much for this country.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, in that context, it almost seems sort of trying to talk about football, but I guess one thing is that obviously you were supposed to be starting the season last weekend with a big home game at Stamford Bridge against West Ham, and now obviously that's been moved, and you know, in that context, it's a little bit of disappointment that you're not going to have that big sort of home game opener off the back of, you know, the momentum of the Euros and stuff like that. It's a bit of disappointment, a bit of recalibration, given that your start of the season, your opening game is going to be in quite a different context to the one that you thought it was going to be a couple of weeks ago.
I think, to be honest with you, I don't get emotional about it one way or the other. For the right reasons, the game didn't happen, and I don't think it would be the last time that we will sell out Stamford Bridge. So as far as I'm concerned, more than happy to, you know, kick off away to Liverpool, because I support the rationale for why the games didn't take place last weekend.
Absolutely. You've also got quite a few players coming back who've had huge success internationally during, so particularly the England players. One player I wanted to ask you about is Younes Charles, who obviously just missed out on the Euros squad, but will be key for you this season. How do you think that she'll respond this season, and what does she need to do to sort of move up to that next level to secure a spot next summer in the World Cup?
I think before a ball's kicked, that's difficult to remark about that. All what I know is that Neve is a top professional who is working hard on all the little details that will help her, you know, get to those places. And as far as I'm concerned, she just needs to focus on maintaining that day in, day out here, and the rest will take care of itself.
And just one more from me, basically, team news. How's the team looking? Do you think are you able to call on your strongest squads this weekend? How's the team looking into injuries and stuff?
We have an incredible team. It's incredibly challenging to pick 11. I can only pick 11. The realities of those that I'll have to face every week means that there's difficult decisions, but you know, I'm used to making them, so I'm just happy to have the quality we've got on board, because they're a tremendous group that are working hard to push each other day in, day out, and it's teams that wins things, not individuals.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's the end of the broadcast section.